So let's start our class. Okay, so today we will cover the first chapter for this class, which is managers and you in the workplace. Okay, so in this chapter we will learn about manager. Okay, so the first thing when you are being hired as a management. Okay, is the first ranking that you will have is the manager. Okay, so without a manager there will be no management. Okay, so manager is the basic unit for management. Okay, so let's read. So in this chapter we will learn what is manager. Okay, and then what are their roles and everything. Okay, all right, so these are the learning objective. Okay, so you can read after this. Okay. Okay, so I think I didn't share with you the slide yet, right? So I will share with you the slide after this class. Okay, so you can look at the slide. Okay, and I also will upload it in the Lincoln system. Okay, so you can check from the WhatsApp group and also from the Lincoln system. Okay, right. So first of all, who is manager? Okay, so when we're talking about management, okay, you will find, okay, you will find out that the management is all about manager. Okay, so management is the role of manager. Okay, so without a manager you won't have any management. Okay, so who is manager? Okay, so manager is somebody who coordinate and oversee the work of other people so that organizational goal can be accomplished. Okay, right. So guys, please silent your mic first, okay? Because it disturb my teaching. Okay. So if you have a question, then you can turn on your mic and ask me question. Okay. Right. Okay. So manager is the basic unit of management. Okay. So without a manager, you cannot create your management unit. Okay. So manager is somebody that coordinate and monitor or controlling the process in the organization. Okay, so you are the one that appoint people, you are the one who make the planning. Okay, and then you as a manager also are the one that monitors the progress of your staff. Okay, so why you need to do this? Because you want to achieve the goal of your organization or your company. Okay, so the purpose of manager doing all those kind of thing is to achieve the goal of the company. Okay, whatever the company set for their goal. For example, maybe they want to hit 1 million sales. Okay, if you are appointed as a sales manager. Okay, the company set your goal. The company set to achieve 1 million sales. Okay, so that is the goal that you must achieve. Okay, so everything that you do as a manager is to achieve the goal of your company. Okay, so that is the reason why you as a manager doing whatever you do for your company. Okay, all right, so that is the basic of manager. What is manager? Okay, and then on top of that we have several layer of managers. Okay, when we are talking about management team or management unit. Okay, so we have several hierarchy of manager. Okay, so manager is the basic unit of management unit. Okay, and then in the management unit you have many managers and then they are layered, okay, on top of another. Okay, here is the basic, okay, the basic layer of management unit. Okay, so we have the non-managerial employees or your staff. Okay, so your staff is the basic of the company. Okay, the basic structure of your company. Okay, and then you have the first line manager. Okay, on top of the staff you have the first line manager. Okay, and then on top of first line manager we have the middle manager. Okay, and then at the top of the company we have what we call as top manager. Okay, so these are the common structure, the general structure of the organization or the company. Okay, these are the structure of management unit. Okay, in the organization. Okay, so what are the because you can see there are several type of manager, right? Several layer of manager. So what are their function? Okay. So first line manager, okay. The first layer of manager is the first line manager. So first line manager are doing management work. Okay. So they are the first line of management to manage the staff. Okay. So the first line manager usually is your supervisor or your project team your team leader. Okay, so first line manager is usually your supervisor or your team leader. Okay, so anyone that you have to report to. For example, you are the staff of the company. Okay, you have somebody that you have to report to. That is the first line manager, somebody that directly appoint somebody that directly interact with the workers. Okay, so the manager that directly interact with the worker, that is what we call as first line manager. Okay, and then the second layer is the middle manager. Okay, so middle manager is usually your department manager, okay, or your store manager, or your regional manager, somebody that manage other manager. Okay, so that is middle manager. So middle manager actually is the biggest group, okay, among the type of manager. Okay, so because we have the regional manager, we have department manager, we have a store manager, we have so many managerial position in middle manager. Okay, so middle manager is the linkage between the top manager and the first line manager. Okay, so the middle manager, they will get instruction from the top manager. Okay, and then the top manager again, they will get the instruction from top manager, and then the middle manager will disperse the information to the first line manager. Okay, and then the first line manager will disperse the information or give instruction to the staff. Okay, so that is the middle manager. So middle manager is their work is to manage the first line manager. Okay, so that is the workload or the job description of middle manager. Okay, you have to manage other manager. Okay, all right, and then the top management, okay, or top manager. So top manager is anyone with the C in the title. CEO, COO, CFO, okay, chief executive officer, chief operation officer, chief financial officer, all those executive with C title in front. Okay, we call it, I forgot the name. Okay, they have their common name. Okay, the C manager. Okay, all those manager with title C in front of their title, that is what we call as top management. Okay, so top manager. Okay, what are the function of top manager? So when you come up to the top management level, okay, at this point your job is not to manage your staff anymore. Your job is to manage the company or the organization. Okay, so your job is to set the cost of the cost of the company. Okay, so you have to set what is the direction of the company, what goal that the company must make for those years. Okay, so that is the function of top management. Okay, they are the decision maker. Okay, and then they are also the planner. Okay, they make decision for the company, and then they also make plans to the company. Okay, so and then after they make decision and then they make planning. Okay, then they will disperse it to the middle manager. Okay, so middle manager will interpret their decision and their plan. Okay, and then they will come out to the smaller plan. Then they will send it to the first line manager. Okay, and then the first line manager, their job is to monitor. Okay, they will assign the job to the staff. Okay, and then they will have to monitor the work of the staff. Okay, so we can see that different level of manager, they have different responsibility. First line manager, their responsibility is to allocate and monitor the work. Okay, middle manager, they have to give instruction to the first line manager on how to do the work. Okay, and then the top management, top manager, their job is to make decision and make plans for the company. Okay, so we can see that is the differences between those type of manager. Okay, all right. Okay, so where the managers are working. Okay, so now we already know what is manager. Okay, and what are the type of manager we have in the organization. Okay, and then now we have to know what is organization. Okay, so without organization we won't have the manager. Why? Because without the organization, what the manager want to manage. Okay, so we need a bunch of people. Okay, so what are the organization? So organization is an arrangement of people or a group of people that works together to accomplish their the same purpose. Okay, so if you don't have a group of people, okay, that they want to achieve same purpose, okay, you don't need to manage the people. Okay, why? Because if you are only work alone, okay, you can manage yourself. Okay, you don't need a manager. Okay, but once you get 2 or 3 people to work together, okay, and then you work together to achieve the same goal, then you have to find somebody that can coordinate the works of everyone. Okay, because you want to ensure that everyone works together to achieve the same goal. Okay, so that is organization. Okay, so managers need organization, and at the same time organization needs the manager. Okay, so it's a symbiosis relationship. So without organization you won't have a manager position. Okay, if you don't have the manager, then your organization maybe will become chaos. You cannot align everyone to achieve the same goal. Okay, so that is the relationship between organization and manager. All right. Okay, so that is organization. Okay, so what are the characteristic of an organization? Okay, so the most common characteristic or the most distinctive characteristic of organization, we have 3. Okay, so we have 3 common characteristic for organization. First is we need people. Okay, so organization is the group of people. So without people we cannot create an organization. Okay, so you cannot create an organization of birds, an organization of cow, organization of any animals. Okay, because they cannot they cannot work together to achieve the goals. Okay, so there must be a people in the organization. Okay, so you also cannot create a group of robots to make an organization yet. Okay, so maybe due to the advancement of the technology, okay, maybe the AI will become so advanced later maybe in 10 or 15 years later, maybe the AI can be very advanced. Maybe they can think like human. Then I don't know what will happen. But for now, we need people in the organization. Okay, because people will run the organization. Without the people, okay, the organization will not run. Okay, so we need people. That is the first characteristic of organization, a group of people. Okay, and then the group of people, they are working to achieve the distinct purpose. Okay, so why this group of people are working together? Because they want to achieve same goal. They have a collective goal that they want to achieve. Okay, so that is the second characteristic of organization. You must have a distinct purpose or distinct goals while you are grouping together and work together. Okay, so that is the second characteristic of organization. You must have your common goal, what you want to achieve. Okay, and then lastly, you must have the structure. Okay, so if the group of people they don't have any structure, then they only become a group of people. Okay, like you see in the forum, you see in the WhatsApp group, it's just a group of people. Okay, a group of people that they come together. Okay, maybe they chatting, they do something together. That's all. Okay, they cannot become an organization because why? Because they are not organized. They do not organize their group. Okay, they did not organize their group to become to have a distinctive structure. Okay, so you must, okay, to form an organization, you must have a structure. Okay, you must know who is on the top of the group. Okay, who is the one who will do the job, who will monitor it. Okay, so here when you create a structure, automatically you will assign roles, and the manager position will appear. Okay, because somebody must do the work, somebody must monitor the work. Okay, so if you don't have a structure, then it will not become an organization. Okay, so that is how the management position is created in the organization. When you start structuring the group of people, when you start structuring the group, okay, so you must assign the roles to everyone. Okay, so somebody must take the role to monitor, okay, to make plan for the group. Okay, so that is the position of the manager. Okay, right. So these are the three common characteristics of organization. So without this characteristic, okay, the group of people cannot become an organization. Okay, so you must have these three characteristics. All right. Okay. So we already learned, okay, why, okay. So we already know who is manager, where the manager is working, okay. And now, we must know why it is important for the organization to have a manager, okay. So why manager are important, okay. So the first reason is the organization need their managerial skill and ability now more than ever. Manager are critical to getting things done. Managers do matter to organization. Okay. So why manager is important? Because they are the they are the uh, decision maker. First of all, we need manager because they are the one that makes decision for the organization, especially the top management. Okay. So without a top management, it's hard for you to make decision, because if you have a bunch of people working together, okay, to solve a problem, everyone will have their own ideas, okay, and sometimes the idea will not tally with each other. Okay, so if there is none that can make decision which choices they want to take, okay, uh, 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 it will become a non-stop argument, because everyone will think that their idea is better than others. Okay, so the manager role, the first thing is to make decision. Okay, the first reason why manager is important, because they are the decision maker. Okay, so when they have multiple choices, okay, to solve a problem, okay, the role of manager is to make decision which choices they want to take, okay, to solve the problem. Okay, and then they also are a planner. Okay, so their manager, okay, their management, okay, how they manage. Okay, so without a manager, okay, it's hard to manage the people. Okay, because yes, you can work together if you have maybe you can work, okay, you can still try to achieve same goal. Okay, if you work with smaller people, maybe 10, maybe 20%. But what if you have 100%, okay, 100 people in your organization, maybe 200 people, okay, maybe 1,000 people. It's hard to control everyone, okay, because everyone has their own ideas, everyone has their own experience that is different from each other. So that's why you need a manager to manage these people. Okay, so without the manager, it is hard for you to integrate everyone to work together to achieve the goal of the organization. Okay, so these are the reason why managers are important. Okay. Alright. So these are the data, okay, the data that they collected from US, okay. Right. Half of US adults have left their job to get away from bad manager, okay. And then the next data they get over $300 billion each year, okay, the cost of manager who are not engaged, okay. So these are the data that they collected from US, okay. Oh. Okay. So these are the data that they collected. Okay, they find out that okay, more than $300 million are wasted because they hire a bad manager. Okay, and then more than half of US that working, okay, half of the working adults in US, they left their position, they left their job because they want to run from their managers because their managers is not good. Okay, so here the data show that if you hire a bad manager, okay, your manager will be the reason why you have a high turnover problem. Okay, so these are another reason. Okay, so you must try to find a good manager and try to cultivate a good manager. Okay, for your own company grow. Okay, so these are the reason why you want to find a good manager. All right. Okay. All right. So that is the data. Okay. And then what do managers do? Okay. So we already learned what is manager. Okay. Where they work. Okay. So what are the job scope of the manager? Okay. So manager. Okay. The main job of manager is to the main job of the manager is to do the management work. Okay. So the management work that manager do is involve coordinating and overseeing the work activity of others so that their activity are completed efficiently and effectively. Okay, so manager do the management work. Okay, so the management work. Okay, why they need to manage? Because they want to ensure that the job is done efficiently and effectively. Okay, so what are the efficiency and effectiveness? Okay, so efficiency means that doing things right. Okay, getting the most output from the least amount of input. Okay, it means that the manager must ensure that whatever jobs that the staff do is the correct job. Okay, make the things right. Okay, and then effectiveness means that doing the right things, attaining organizational goal. Okay, so effectiveness is the impact. Okay, so after your staff doing the correct work, okay, you must ensure that the quality of the work is very high. That is effectiveness. Okay, means that the impact of the job is very high for your to achieve your goals. Okay, so that is efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, so as a manager, you must ensure that your staff your staff okay are doing the right thing, means that you minimize the any wrongdoing in your company, and then you also must ensure that the quality of the job is high enough, okay, to achieve the goal of your company. Okay, right. So these figures show you these are the graphical representative for efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, so efficiency means low waste, means that you are doing the right thing, you are doing the right job. Okay, so you make lesser waste. Okay, you are not wasting your time, wasting the materials, wasting the resources. Okay, and then effectiveness means that goal attainment. Okay, means that how uh, how uh, how effective, okay, the job to achieve your goal. Okay, so as a manager, you must strive for low resource waste, means that high efficiency, and then high goal attainment. or high quality, okay, high effectiveness. Okay, all right. So we already know that the managers, okay, will do the management job. Okay, so the management job, okay, the management job can be break up into four different function. Okay, so first we have the planning function, organizing function, leading function, and controlling function. Okay, so these are the four main function of management work. Okay, so first of all, you must make a planning. Okay, so you must set the goals, you must set the timeline, you must set the strategies how to achieve the goal. Okay, so that is planning. And then organizing. Okay, so you arrange the work. Okay, you appoint who will do this job, who will do this job. Okay, and then maybe you want put somebody to monitor or to assist. You put, okay, who will assist this one. Okay, so that is organizing. You appoint people to do the job. Okay, and then leading. Okay, so working with or and through people to accomplish goal. So as a leader, as a manager, you are not only assign the job to the people. Okay, so you also must be a hands-on people. You must come down to the field. Okay, you must check. Yeah, you must lead by example. Okay, that is the third function of manager. You must lead by example. You must go down to the field. Okay, you must try ask your staff what is going on, what are the status, what is the problem. Okay, so you must be a very hands-on people. Okay, being a manager doesn't mean that you are not involved in the field. Okay, so you must lead by example. You must show that you are also a good workers. Okay, to ensure that your workers are good, you must be a good worker. Okay? So you must show your quality to your staff. Okay, that is the third function, and then lastly is controlling. Means that you monitor their job. Okay, you ask the progress. Okay, and then if there is some work, how to remedy the problem. Okay, so that is the last function of management. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's take a 5 minute break. Okay. And then we will continue, I think, around 3:15. Okay, is that okay for everyone? Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay, so we take a break. Okay, we will continue back at 3:15. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Okay, let's continue our class. All right, okay. So this figure just show you okay the four function of management works. Okay, so we have the planning, okay, organizing, leading, and controlling. Okay, so under planning, okay, you can see there are several jobs. Okay, being listed there. Okay, so establishing goal, establishing strategy, developing plans. Okay, right? So these are the example of activity that you will do under this function of management. Okay, so under planning, you have this activity. Under organizing, you have this activity. Under leading this is your activity. Okay, and the controlling, this is the activity. Okay, and then all this function and the activities under the function. Okay, the main purpose is to achieve the goal of the organization. Okay, so this is just the graphical representative of four function of management. Okay, all right. So that is the function of manager. Okay, in the in the organization. Okay, and then we have somebody who is called Henry Mintzberg. Okay, so Henry Mintzberg is a researcher researcher who studies about the behavior of manager in at work. Okay, so Mintzberg, okay, he study actual manager at work. Okay, from his study, okay, he can conclude that there are 10 different roles. Okay, as a manager, you will have 10 different role in your sorry. Okay, you will have 10 different roles in your company. It means that you have to act as a 10 different person, okay, in the company. Okay, so from his study, Ms. Berg highlight that there are 10 roles that a manager must take. I mean, the manager has to take, okay, when they are working in the organization. So what are the roles of manager in the organization? Okay, so Miss Berg he classified the roles into four categories. First is interpersonal roles, and then second one is a informational role. Okay, and then the third one is decisional role. Okay, interpersonal role means that the interaction. Okay, so you, as a manager, you must be able to interact with people. Okay, you must have a good interpersonal skill. Okay, and then informational. How? Okay, you as a manager, you also will work to disperse the okay to as a informator. Okay, that is an informational role. And then lastly, decisional means that you must make decision for your organization. Okay, so these are the three group of role. Okay, manager must take in the company or organization. Okay, and then from this role, okay, we have the 10 roles. Okay, so under interpersonal we have three roles: figurehead, leader, and a licensed people. Okay, and then under information role, okay, we have a monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. Okay, and then lastly, under decision role, we have entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator. Okay, so these are this figure. Okay, this is just the graphical representative of the role. Okay, so we have the figurehead, means that you must be the the ambassador. Okay, figurehead means that you must be the one who represent the company. Okay, so you as a manager, you are one of the representative of the company, the figurehead. Okay, so you as a manager, you must show the good. Okay, you must be a good ambassador so that people can see the good side of your company. Okay, and then you also is a leader. Guys, wait, let me okay guys, pardon me for a while. I want to prepare something for my baby. Okay, wait. Okay, sorry guys for the disturbance. Okay. Alright, so again, okay, so first of all, okay, so for the first role is figurehead. Okay, so you must be the ambassador. Okay, you as a manager, you are the ambassador or the front page. Okay, or the front of your company. Okay, so if you show a good action, okay, it will reflect back, okay, about your company. Okay, so then you are also a leader. Okay, so you must lead your staff. Okay, you must show them. Okay, you must lead them by example. Okay, and then you also a licensed people. Okay, so you must be a middle person between your staff and your top management, between your staff and also your customer, okay, between your staff and also your logistic. Okay, so you must be the middle person. Okay, you must be able to negotiate or to remedy anything that happen between two parties. Okay, so that is your third roles. Okay, and then monitor, you must be able to monitor your staff. Okay, you must aware about their status. Okay, the progress of their job. Okay, all right. So that is the okay. Oh, sorry, informational role. Sorry. Monitor means that monitor the sorry. Is that is okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Monitor here means that monitor the information. Okay, so the information you get from your top management, your information you get from your environment, okay, you have to monitor. You must ensure that the information is good, is accurate, okay, before you send it to other parties. Okay, and then you also monitor the progress. Okay, because progress is the information. Okay, you must also monitor the work of your staff. Okay, so that is information. Okay, so you must monitor. Okay, you must get the information from them. Okay, and then you must check back their work. Okay, whatever information you get, you must check back. Okay, you must monitor. Okay, you must check. You must make a cross checking to ensure that all the information that you get is correct before you send it to other people. Okay, and then you also a disseminator, means that you must distribute. Okay, so you must distribute the information to other people. Okay, to your staff, to your top management, to your client, to your supplier, anyone else. Okay, so that is the fifth role of a manager. Okay, and then spokesperson. Okay, so you also the spokesperson of your company. Okay, so you must be able to speak for your staff. You must be able to speak for your company. You must be able to speak for your top management. Okay, so you must be able to speak for yourself lah. Okay, so as a manager, you are the spokesperson, because the first role is figurehead, right? So you are the role, you are the ambassador, and then you must also be able to speak on behalf of your company. Okay, all right. So and then you are a negotiator. Okay, so you can negotiate with your client, negotiate with your supplier, negotiate with your top management. Okay, negotiate with your staff. Okay, so you are the negotiator. Okay, and then resource allocator. Once you get the resources, okay, which that your top management, maybe you give your budget, okay, to do certain job, then you must be able to allocate where you should allocate the budget. Okay, who will get the budget? Okay, which area you will allocate the budget. Okay, right. Okay, right. So that is the resource allocator. Okay, and then disturbance handler. Okay, so a group of people, okay, a group of people will always have a a problem. Okay, they will have arguments. Okay, why? Because people, every people, they have different personalities, different experience, different upbringing. So how they think, how they interact, how they represent themselves will be different. Okay, so they must they when people are interacting with other people, they will have it will happen. Okay, something some argument or some fighting will happen. Okay, so you as a manager, you must be able to solve this problem. You must be the middle person. Okay, to stop the fighting, to stop the argument, and try to find the middle ground. Okay, so you are the disturbance handler. And then lastly is entrepreneur. Okay, so because you are working in an organization, you must be able to think the best for your organization. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, you must be able to think how to maximize the it's not a profit, benefit. Okay, how to maximize the benefit for your company. Okay, from the work that you already from the work that you done. Okay, so that is the entrepreneur. Okay, so that is the 10 roles that being listed by Mingsberg. Okay, so you can try to find his study. Okay, if you are interested, okay, you can look at his study. All right. Okay. All right. So let's we go to the next one. Okay. So that is the role. That is the job function and the role of the manager in the organization. Okay. And then to ensure that you can act the role, you can work efficiently and effectively as the manager, you must have the skills. Okay, so based on study by Robert Karls, okay, based on the study by Robert Karls, he enlisted that there are three main skills, okay, that a manager must have, okay, to ensure that he or she can work effectively as a manager. Okay, so those three skills are, the first one is a technical skill. Okay, and then the second one is the human skills, and then lastly is the conceptual skill. Okay, so the technical skill is the know-how, okay, the knowledge or the experience that he or she as a manager have, okay, in their field. Okay, for example, if you are being appointed as a technical manager, so you must have the technical knowledge. Okay, you must have the engineering knowledge on how to solve problem. Okay, if you are being assigned as a sales manager, you must have the knowledge of how to make the sale, how to how to how to boost your sale. Okay, so you must have the knowledge in the field that you are being appointed to. Okay, so you, as if you are a technical manager, you must have the technical skill. If you are a sales manager, you must have the sales skill. If you are marketing manager, you must have the marketing skill. Okay, and goes on. Okay, you must have the skill and the knowledge for your specific skill. Okay, sorry, for your specific field. Okay, you must have the knowledge and the skill. Okay, and then the second one is the human skill, or we can also call it as interpersonal skill. Okay, the ability of you to work with others. Okay, how is your negotiation skill, how your persuasion skill, how your management skill, how you interact with people, how your communication skill. These are the skill that included in the interpersonal skill. Okay, how you interact with the people. So as a manager, you must have a good human skill. Okay, because you as a manager, you have when you are appointed as a manager, your job is to manage people. Okay, it means that you will have lots of interaction with people. Okay, so if you don't have a good interpersonal skill, okay, if you are not good working with other people, then you will not become a good manager. Okay, so these are the second skill that you must have as a manager, the interpersonal skill. Okay, and then lastly is the conceptual skill. Okay, conceptual skill is the ability to visualize the problem and visualize the solution to solve the problem. Okay, the ability to think and conceptualize the abstract and complex situation. Okay, so you must be able to visualize your problem. For example, okay, you have problem to with your workers. Okay, you have a very high turnover. Okay, as a manager, you must be able to visualize the problem. Okay, why the problem happened. You must be able to think and visualize in your mind. Okay, so conceptual skill is more on your thinking skill, how effective you are on solving the problem, how effective you are on make your decision, how effective you are to to finalize your choices. Okay, so that is the conceptual skill. How well you are to think, okay, and visualize the problem, and then try to make to make the solution for the problem. Okay, so these are the three main skills you must have as a manager. Okay, that has been highlighted by the Robert Coutts. Okay, right, right. So that is the skill that you needed. Okay, that you need. Okay, that you need for that is the skill that you need for to be a good manager. Okay, and then for different level of manager, you will have different level of skill. Okay, so for example, on lower level manager or the first line manager, okay, the team leader, you must have a good technical skill, because you as a first line manager, your job is to assign and monitor the work of others. Okay, so you must be able to effectively, okay, you must be able to effectively assign the job to the most qualified person. Okay, and then you must be able to evaluate their work. Okay, so that's why on the lower level manager or the first line manager, the technical knowledge is the most important knowledge. Okay, it is the most important skill that you need to have. Okay, all right. And then when we go to the middle manager, so middle manager, you are not directly manage your staff. Okay, and this level, yes, you can see that we have a balance of those three skills. Why? Because now on the middle manager, you must be able to make plans, okay, to be okay for your first line manager. Okay, you must be able to make plans. You must also ha 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 ha. Apa senyum? Okay. 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 So you must be able to make plans. You must be able to digest the instruction from your top manager, okay, before you can make the plan. Okay. So you must have better creative. I think you must have, I think, a better decision making skill, and also creative problem solving skill. Okay, at this level. Okay, because now you are not only directing the people on the technical aspect. Now your role as a media manager more on making a plans for your workers. Okay, so you must be able to have better decision making skill at this level. Okay, sorry guys, wait ah. Sorry guys. Okay, all right. So that's why in the media manager we have a balance. Okay, so now, okay, you must have a better decision making and problem solving skill. Okay, so in the because in media manager you are not directly involved with the operation. Now you are more on the planning side. Okay, you make a plan, you make some decision for your staff and etc. Okay, and then lastly on the top management, okay, top manager level. Okay, on this level, your main job is to make decision for your to make decision for your company or your organization. Okay, so at this level, you must be able. Okay, your conceptual skill are most needed. Okay, because why? You must be able to visualize the future. Okay, because okay, so at this level, because you want to make decision for your company, right? So it's not easy because you have to look at various aspect. Okay, when you want to make decision for your company, you must look, okay, what is the economic situation, what are the situation situation now, what your competitor will do. Okay, so you must be able to visualize. Okay, it's like playing a chess. You must be able to visualize what are the next step. Mm. Okay, so you must be able to visualize the next step. Okay, you are not only visualize the step that you want to take now. Okay, you must be able to visualize what are the next step that you want to take. Okay, so that's why it's important for the top management to have the conceptual skill. Okay, because you want to visualize what are the next steps so that your competitor will not leave you behind. Okay, because you want to ensure that your company can grow to the maximum. Okay, all right. So that is the skill. Okay, so you can see here, the three skills. You will need different level of the skill as you grow up. Okay, to the next level of management. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is the role. Okay, so nowadays, okay, so every position you will have a challenges. Okay, so nowadays as a manager you have multiple challenges. Okay, all right, so these are the challenges that you will be facing as a manager today. Okay, and also maybe into the future. Okay, so first challenges is the technology. The second challenges is the disruptive innovation. Okay, and then nowadays social media, the ethics, political uncertainty, and also the customer. Okay, so let's we go one by one. Okay, so focus on technology. So, okay, so manager must get employee on board with new technology. Okay, so as we can see nowadays, the technology is growing very fast. Okay, so I don't know if you aware. Okay, so back in 1990s, okay, mobile phone is very rare. Okay, it's a very new technology. Okay, right. So not okay. Only a few of people are using mobile phone. Okay, and then the mobile phone at that time is very bulky. Okay, it's not easy to carry on. Okay, and then come to the 2000, early 2000 until 2010. Okay, early 2000, we can see that the technology of the mobile phone is growing. Okay, we can see lots of the phone at that time, they start to shrink down. Okay, become smaller. Okay, right, but still the phone is only for calling or messaging people. Okay, it's very limited functionality. Okay, and then come to 2010. Okay, when Apple start to produce their first iPhone, and then you can see the innovation start to grow. Okay, so more advanced phone coming. Okay, and then you can see nowadays mobile phone is almost like it's almost like your personal computer. Okay, it's like a small computer in your pocket. Okay, so we can see that the technologies, especially nowadays, is very fast. Okay, so if you cannot board, okay, on the new technology, okay, you will be left behind. Okay, so as a manager, you must encourage your workers. Okay, so challenges nowadays is how you want to implement the technology in your workplace. Okay, and then also how to monitor and ensure that the technology are not being misused by the staff or by anyone else. Okay, so that is the first challenges, okay, that the manager are facing nowadays in the company or in the organization. Okay, and then the second challenges is disruptive innovation. Okay, so one of the most critical challenges facing manager today is dealing with disruptive innovation. Okay, disruptive innovation involve new product, processes, or services that radically changes the rule of the game. One example is how automobile destroy the horse-drawn buggy industry. Okay, so disruptive innovation is something radical. Okay, the easiest example I can give you is how Nokia was bring down by the Apple. Okay, so before, okay, in 2000, okay, 2000 near to 2000 2009 2010, Nokia is the dominant player in the telecommunication industry, especially on the mobile phone. Okay, we can see lots of Nokia phone, okay, at that time. Okay, and then suddenly, I think around 2011, 2010, 2011, like that. Okay, suddenly Apple comes out with the new concept, which is smartphone. Okay, a touchscreen mobile phone. Okay, at that time Nokia is still thinking that whatever they have is good enough for the masses, for the market. Okay, but what they didn't expect is, okay, in very short time, okay, from 2010 until 2020, in just 10 years, the concept of mobile phone is changing from a keypad phone. Now we use smartphone. We use a touch screen to interact with our phone. Okay? So whatever Apple launched at that time, okay, the first iPhone, it is a game changer. Okay, that is what we call as disruptive innovation. Okay, it changed the whole market, the whole industry. Okay, from the physical keypad phone. Now we already changing to a smartphone where we only have the screen and we interact with the phone through the screen. Okay, so because at the time Nokia, they make a wrong decision. Okay, they their market share is shrinking. Okay, and now they are one of the minor player in the telecommunication industry. Okay, in the mobile phone industry. Okay, we can see the effect of disruptive innovation. If okay, so if okay, I think that you can find some of the interview of Nokia people, Nokia managers, okay, that they are discussing this thing. Okay, so if you as a manager you cannot make a good decision at this stage, okay, your company or your organization can can drop down, okay, until you didn't have anything. Okay, so like what Nokia what happened to Nokia. Okay, so these are the impact of disruptive innovation to your company or to your organization. Okay, so if you as a manager you cannot cope with the changes, okay, you will be left out by your competitors and your customer. Okay, so these are the second challenges as you as a manager must facing, okay, in this current era. Okay, and then the third challenges is social media. Okay, social media. Okay, so nowadays the social media is the new platform or the new world. Okay, so we already have what we call as a metaverse, right? So metaverse is like a digital. Okay, they want to make the digital platform into a new world, what we call as digital world. Okay, so want to create a new world, okay, from in the digital platform. So if you as a manager, okay, you can cope with these changes, because nowadays lots of company, lots of organization, they already use social media as a medium for them to interact with their customer, interact with their followers, interact with their loyal customer. Okay, so if you as a manager, you cannot manage your social media effectively, okay, you might destroy your company image. Okay, you will create a bad image for your company. Maybe you, because you, okay, maybe you didn't reply the complaint on the spot. Okay, you cannot provide a good solution for your customer. Okay, all those things will have a bad impact to your company. Okay, so you as a manager, you must be able to manage your social media effectively, so that you can maintain a good image of your company to your client, to your staff, to your client, to your customer. Okay, and then also to the world. Okay, so that's why it is one of the challenges that manager have to face nowadays. Okay, how to effectively managing the social media of your company. Okay, maybe you can opt to not using the social media, but nowadays if you don't use the social media, okay, your it is a bad move to ignore the social media, because this is one of the frontiers for you to expose your company to, or your organization to the world. People can see you everywhere, not only limited to your area. Okay, so that's why it's important to use it, but how to manage the social media, that is the challenges. Okay, all right, now next is the ethics. Okay, so how you want to maintain your business ethics in the whole company or the whole organization. Okay, because like I said before, everyone has their own background, everyone has their own experience, everyone has their own education. Okay, so everyone will make different. Everyone will, okay, every staff you will have different personality, and they will make different judgment. Okay, okay, they will make different judgment for one specific situation. Okay, for example, uh, staff A, they will make decision A to solve this problem. Staff B, they will make decision B to solve this problem. Okay, all right, so that is the situation in the organization, because we as a people, we are different, we are unique from others. Okay, so how you want to, okay, so the problem is how you want to maintain the uniqueness of the people, while at the same time you want to maintain the ethics. Okay, you want to ensure that there are no unethical practices that will happen in your company. Okay, so that is the issue that you as a manager must solve. Okay, you as a manager must be able to ensure that okay. Okay, so you must, as a manager, must be able to avoid. Okay, all right, so for example here, okay, you can see example here. Okay, pharmaceutical firm raising drug prices by 500% or something, turning in fake receipt for expenses. So these are the examples, okay, of unethical practices happen in the business world. Okay, so how you want to avoid unethical practices in your company, and the challenges that you as a manager must face. Okay, because it will happen. Okay, so unethical practices will happen. Okay, because we cannot control the behavior of the people. Okay, so what we can do is how to minimize the the the, the frequency of unethical practices, and how to minimize the impact of unethical practices in your company. Okay, right? So that is the next challenges. Okay, then next challenge is political uncertainty. Okay, so nowadays we can see now we have now we have the war. Okay, so war between Ukraine and Russia. Okay, so that is it. So for the company or for the organization in Ukraine and Russia, okay, especially in Ukraine, they are facing with a political uncertainty in their country. Okay, because now their country is at war. Okay? So they have very limited space for the company or for the organization, okay, to react. Okay, all right. So as a manager, you must be able to make decision, okay, on those kind of situation. Okay, for example, like nowadays, okay, you can see that, okay, you can also see in at Malaysia, okay, during the COVID-19 pandemic, okay, so the government is changing, okay, twice. Okay, you can see there is some political uncertainty that happened in Malaysia. Okay, so you as a manager at that time you must make a very good and swift decision on how you want to mitigate the problem, because every time there is a political unrest, there will be some changes. Okay, right? So when the government is changing, okay, some things will change. Some of the policy will change. So you as a manager, you must be able to figure out what are the changes and how you want to mitigate those changes. Okay, right, from impacting your operation. Okay, all right. So that is the second last issue that you as a manager are facing, which is the political uncertainty. And lastly, lastly is customer. Okay. Right. So most of the manager are working they are working in a company, okay, where the goal of the company is to serve the customer and then to attain the profit. Okay, so they want to make profit from their customer. Okay, so when your organization is dealing with a customer, it is the most, okay, it is important for you to ensure that you can give a good quality you can give a quality service to your customer, okay, so that they are satisfied with they are satisfied with your services or your product. Okay, so how to ensure that your customer satisfaction is always high, that is the problem that you as a manager must figure out how to achieve that. Okay, all right. So that is the last issue, okay, that a manager will have to face, okay, in this current year, okay, current era. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is the problem, okay, the challenges, okay, as a manager you must take, okay, when you are appointed as a manager. Okay, all right. The universality of management. Okay, so when we are talking about management, okay, okay, the management will appear anywhere else. Okay, okay, the management will you will need the management, okay, when you have the organization, either the organization is big or small, okay, either is on the top level organization or the bottom lower organization. Okay, well, okay, also you are not, okay, you also need the management in any organizational areas. Okay, and no matter where the organization is located. Okay, so that is the universality of management. It means that the management is needed whenever you have the organization. Either your organization is big, either your organization is small, either your organization is a non-profit organization, or your organization is a profit organization. All the organization, they need the management. Okay, so these are the statement, we call it as the universality of management. Okay, so this figure show you, okay, this is just the graphical representative of of the University of Management. Okay, so in this figure you see that in the center, management is needed in all type of organization, either it is a profit or non-profit. Okay, it is needed in all organization level, either it is a bottom level or the top level. Okay, and then the management also needed in all organizational areas, either it's a manufacturing, either it's marketing, either it's a human resource, accounting, information system, or etc. Okay, and then the management is also needed in all size of organization, either it is small or large organization. Okay, so that is the universality of management. Whatever organization you have, you must have the management. Okay, either the organization is small or big, either the organization is a profit organization or non-profit organization. Okay, okay. We also need it on the top level until the bottom level, on all level of organization. We need the management, and the management also needed in all areas. Okay, either your organization is a manufacturing organization, maybe it's a business organization, maybe it's a medical organization. As long as it is called organization or it is called company, okay, or anything else, you need management. Okay, so as long as you establish an organization, the management is needed. Okay, either it's only for two person, 3%, depend. Okay, still you need a management. You need management. Okay? You need somebody to manage the organization. Either you as owner, you manage by yourself, or you employ somebody else. That is not the matter. Okay, you can be the manager. You can be the one who manage everything. You can be. Okay, but as long as you set up an organization or you set up a company, you need somebody to manage it. Okay? You need somebody to manage the company. Okay, so that is the universality of management. Okay, okay. So the reality of work. Okay, so when you start your career, you can be either somebody who manage others or somebody, okay, who being managed by others. Okay, so that is the reality. So that's why it's okay. That's why management is needed everywhere. Okay. So when you start your career in the company, you can either be somebody who manage others or somebody who being managed by others. Okay. So that is the reality. Okay. So we already talked about the job scope, the roles, okay, the challenges. Okay. So what are the rewards of being a manager? Okay. So despite all those challenges, those roles, okay, so what are the rewards for being a manager? Okay, so being a manager, what are the rewards? Okay, the first reward is being responsible for creating a productive work environment. Okay, so as a manager, you can have, okay, you can have an opportunity to design your work environment, because now you are the one who makes decision, right? So you as a manager, you can create your suitable work environment. That is the first reward of being a manager. Okay, and then recognition and status in your organization and in the community. Okay, so once you are appointed as a manager, somebody else will respect you because now you are their superior. Okay, so you are above others. Okay, so you must manage others, and then as a return, people will give their respect to you. Okay, but respect must be earned. Okay, you have to remember that respect must be earned. Okay, so you must earn the respect from your staff. Okay, so you cannot be a bad manager while at the same time you expect others to respect you. Okay, it will not happen. Okay, so you must, to be a respected manager, you must carry a good, okay, you must be a good manager. Okay, and then as a return, people will respect you as a good manager. Okay. And then lastly, okay, and then the third one, attractive compensation in form of salary, bonuses, and stock option. Okay, so as a manager, you will get your salary higher than others. Okay, and then on top of that, if your team or your staff perform, maybe you will get bonuses. Okay, okay. So that is the reward that you can have from the organization. Okay, right. So this one is more detailed lah. Okay, you can read later in the slide. Okay, right. Okay. So they need to understand the management principle regardless of career choice. Okay, workplace confidential board located in Asia. Okay, so okay, so you must understand okay, why we need to why student need to understand the management principle. Okay, regardless of your career choice, because whatever area you go, okay, for example, after you finish your study, okay, you maybe some of you will go for oil and gas, okay, maybe for go to industry, maybe you go to businesses, banking, maybe you go to the firm, okay, maybe accounting firm. Anywhere you go, they will have their own manager. Okay, so if you have the knowledge of management, if you have the management knowledge, then it will become an advantage for you. Okay, when you are being appointed as a manager. Okay, all right. So that is the first topic for this chapter and for this subject. Okay, all right, guys. So we already completed the first chapter for this subject. Okay. So any question, guys, regarding the first chapter before I proceed with the second chapter? Sir. No, sir. Okay, no. Okay. So I think we go on to the next one. Okay. This one is the next one is a very short chapter. Okay. Right. So we continue a little bit. Okay. I think this one will take around 4:45 we can wrap up our class. Okay. All right. So wait, let me share with you the slide first. Okay. All right. Okay. So these are the extension of chapter 1. Okay. So we want to learn about the history of management knowledge. Okay. So in this chapter, we will go down a little bit to know what is the history of management knowledge. Okay. Right. Okay. So these are the objectives. Okay. And then the first, okay, the early management. Okay. So as human, okay, as human settle, okay, as human settlement grows, okay, we create a village, we create a city, okay, we start to learn how to manage people, okay, we start to learn how to manage other people, okay. So the obvious, okay, the the proof of this, okay, we can see from the big project that happens, okay, a long time ago. For example, the Egyptian pyramid, the Great Wall of China, the Stonehenge, okay, all those monuments or all those projects that happened, okay, thousand years ago, okay, it it cannot be created without the effort of many people, thousands of people, even millions of people. Okay, so how to manage the people? Okay, so how the buildings or the monuments can be built without a corporation of people? It will not happen. Okay, so the people have to cooperate. Okay, and then to ensure that everyone is cooperating, okay, there must be somebody that uh, that uh, there must be somebody that have the ability to manage the people. Okay, so the Egyptian pyramid and also the Great Wall of China is one of the proof that the management knowledge is already being developed. Okay, even thousands of years ago. Okay, because without a good management knowledge, okay, you cannot manage 10,000 workers to build the monument. Okay, right. So that is the early management stage. Okay, and then the management knowledge they start to grow. Okay, with the changes of with the changes of era. Okay, so the first know the first management knowledge, okay, the contemporary knowledge, they start to emerge, okay, when we start to when we start when the in the when the industrial revolution started. Okay, so before industrial revolution, people are producing goods, okay, at home. Okay, it's a home based production. Okay, so the production is very limited. Okay, it involves maybe less than 10 people. Okay, so there are no big production happen. Okay, but after the industrial revolution happened, factories start to emerge. Okay, so people start to build a factory to produce goods in masses. Okay, so at this time, okay, people start to think how to manage thousands of people work together to produce the good. Okay, so that is the starting point of the contemporary management knowledge. Okay, so in 1776, okay, Adam Smith published The Wealth of Nation. Okay, so in this publication, Adam Smith they highlight about the division of labor, the job specialization, the breakdown of job into narrow and repetitive tasks. Okay, so these are the starting point of management knowledge. Okay, so the first the first knowledge that comes up, okay, in management is how you want to divide the labor. Okay, how you want to specialize your workers. Okay, that is being produced by that is being published by Adam Smith. Okay, so industrial revolution, like I said before, okay, so the industrial revolution is the era where people start to use the machine power to replace the human power. Okay, so when we start to replace machine power to when we start to replace human power with machine power, we start to be able to produce more and more goods. Okay, so that's why at this time, okay, people start to build factories. Okay, people start to build factories. Okay, people start to build factories. Okay, because now they are able to produce more and more goods. Okay, so they start to build the factories. Okay, so the purpose of the factory is to produce more goods. Okay, to the masses. Okay, so that is the first that is the first reason why we need why people start to working in a large group. Okay, ini ya lapar. Okay, so that is industrial revolution. Okay, alright. So this figure show you the evolution of management knowledge. Okay, so from the early management. Okay, the prehistoric time. Okay, and then comes until the industrial revolution when the Adam Smith, okay, he published his work, okay, where he highlight about the division of job in the factory. Okay, and the management, okay, the management knowledge start to emerge from there, and then they start to evolve slowly. Okay, So we start first. The first stage of is the classical approach. Okay. So classical approach is the first study of management, which emphasize rationality and making organization and worker as efficient as possible. Okay. So in the earliest time of management knowledge, the focus is only to make the factory, okay, more efficient and can produce more goods. Okay, so that is the focus. Okay, so that is the focus in classical approach. How you want to maximize your output, okay, from your workers. Okay, so that is the focus at that time. Okay, and then after that, okay, when they start to, okay, and then from the classical approach, okay, the management knowledge, they start to evolve, okay, into the next stage, which is the scientific management. Okay, so at this stage, okay, they start, okay, the management people, they start to try to implement, they start to try to implement the scientific method in the management. Okay, so in scientific management, okay, so scientific management is an approach that involves using a scientific method to find the one best way for a job to be done. Okay, so in scientific management, awak tak nak makan pun. Okay, so in scientific management, they try to implement the scientific method to find the best management style for the company. Okay, so that is the second stage of management knowledge. Okay, and then, so this is the scientific management principle, okay, highlighted by Taylor's, okay, F.W. Taylor. Okay, so F.W. Taylor is one of the person who created the scientific management approach. Okay, so these are the principle in scientific management, in the scientific management approach. Okay, the first principle is to develop a sign for each element of an individual work to replace the old rule of thumb method. Okay, and then scientifically select and then train, teach and develop the worker. Okay, and then heartily cooperate with worker to ensure that all work is done according to the principle of sign that has been developed. Okay. And then divide work and responsibility almost equally between management and worker. Management does all work for which it is better suited than the workers. Okay, so these are the principle of scientific management approach. Okay, and then we also have another researcher in scientific management approach. We have Frank and Lillian Gilbert. Okay, they develop what we call as tubblings. Okay, so tubbling is a gesture, a hand motion. Okay, because at that time, okay, because at this time, okay, they want to improve the management in factory. Okay, and the environment in the factory is very loud. Okay, because they have so many machinery. Okay, so it's not okay, it's a very loud. Okay, so most of the worker, they are communicating using hand gesture, okay, hand motion. Okay, so what Frank and Lillian Gilbert are establishing is they're establishing what they call as tubblings, or the what I can call it a basic hand motion. Okay, in tubbling they identify 17 basic hand motion that being used by the workers in factory. Okay, so what they come out is they come up with a standard hand motion. Okay, so everyone can use this use the hand motion, and people will understand it. Okay, people from different, okay, even from different factory, they still can understand the hand gesture. Okay, so they create a standard hand motion for communication in the factory. So that is blinks. Okay. All right. And then from the scientific management approach, okay, as the time progress, okay, and more knowledge are accumulated, then the management knowledge start to evolve again. Now they change into a general administrative theory. Okay, so this is the next stage of management knowledge. Okay, so they come up with what we call as a general administrative theory. Okay, so general administrative theory is an approach to management that focus on describing what manager do and what constitute good management practice. Okay, so you can see in the earliest knowledge, okay, in the earliest day, the management knowledge is only focused on how to make everyone more effective. Okay, so and then as time goes by, when the situation in the factory becomes better and better, now they start to focus what are the things that a manager must do, okay, to be a good manager. So this is what they call as this is what they come up, the general administrative theory. Okay, so general administrative theory is described by Henry Fayol. So Henry Fayol is the one that published about the general administrative theory. Okay, so from the general administrative theory, okay, Henry Fayol, okay, he come up with what he called as the principle of management. Okay, so principle of management is the fundamental rules of management that could be applied in all organizational situations and taught in school. Okay, so Henry Fayol is the one who set up, okay, the first principle of management knowledge in the management knowledge. Okay, so he is the godfather of the principle of management subject. Okay, so he is the one that imply that there must be some set of rules or some set of rule or knowledge or procedure that can be applied to every organization, wherever, whatever the management is. Okay, sorry, whatever the organization is. Okay, so he come up with what we call as principle of management. Okay, so what are the things that Fayol highlight in his principle of management? Okay, so there are 14 principles that Fayol highlighted in his principle of management. First is division of work, and then the authority, okay, and then discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interest to general interest, okay, and then rumination, centralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability of tenure of personnel, initiative, and lastly is a spirit de corps. Okay, so these are the 14 basic principles that being highlighted by Fayol. Okay, so this principle becomes the basic principle for management. Okay. Inilah. Okay, so that is the basic principle of management. Okay, and then after Fayol comes Max Weber. Okay, Max Weber. Okay, so Max Weber, okay, he is he's another researcher. Okay, so he's research about bureaucracy. So bureaucracy is a form of organization characterized by division of labor, clearly defined hierarchy, detailed rules and regulation, and impersonal relationship. Okay, so Max Weber, he studied about the organization. Okay? So if we have Henry Fayol, so Henry Fayol, he studied about management, the manager, he studied about the manager. Now comes Max Weber, where he studied about the organization. Okay, so he come up with the term we call as bureaucracy. Okay, so bureaucracy is organization that has a clear division of labor, clear hierarchy, okay, and then clear rules and regulation, and they also have impersonal relationship. Okay, so that is bureaucracy, highlighted by Max Weber. Okay, so from his study, Weber Weber come out. Weber stated that for a good organization, okay, a bureaucracy, okay, for an organization to be a bureaucracy, okay, he must have a clear division of labor. Okay, he must be roles. Okay, the roles must be clearly defined. Okay, and then must have hierarchy. Okay, means that the organization must have a clear, okay, organization chart. Okay, so who is on top, who is in between, who is the line manager, who is the department manager, who is the CEO, who is the COO, who is the CFO. Okay, so must be clearly defined. Okay, so the hierarchy of the organization must be clearly defined. And then formal selection. Okay, so the selection of the staff or the selection for any position in the company must have rules. Okay, must have a procedure. Okay, there must be a guideline on how to choose the personnel for the position. Okay, and then formal rules and regulation. Okay, so a bureaucracy must have clear and written rules and regulation so that everyone can understand, can see, okay, and can implement it in their workplace. Okay, and then next one is impersonality. Okay, uniform application of rule and control not according to personality. Okay, so a bureaucracy must have, okay, must be, okay, a bureaucracy wants to implement the rules and regulation, they will implement it, okay, on everyone. Okay, so there is no one left behind. So even if the CEO makes some problem, okay, they will be judged by the rules of by the rules and regulation of the company. Okay, so that is impersonality. Okay, and then lastly is career orientation. Manager are career professional, not owners of unit they manage. Okay, so in bureaucracy they highlight that managers are not owning anything. Okay, so you as a manager, you only appoint there, okay, because of your career. Okay, so means that you are not owning anything, okay, on the unit that you manage. Okay, so that is the characteristic of bureaucracy highlighted by Weber. Okay, and then, okay, after some time, okay, the knowledge of management start to changing again, start to evolve again. Okay, so now they come up with what we call as organizational behavior. Okay, so organizational behavior, or OB, is the study of the action of people at work. Okay, so we start to come up with the new idea, which is organizational behavior. Okay, why they come up with this knowledge is because, okay, what they can, okay, what the researcher they observe is the behavior of the people is changing from when they are at work and when they are at home. Okay, so that is the trigger. Okay, that is the trigger why they start to study about the OB. Okay, why they come up with the knowledge of OB, organizational behavior. Okay, so it means that the organization will have some influence on the behavior of the people. Okay, so that's why some people, they will behave differently when they are at work and when they are at home. Okay, because the influence of the organization. Okay, all right. So, and this figure show you some of the personnel, okay, some of the researchers that are being involved in organizational behavior study. Okay, so we have here Robert Owen, and then Hugo Munsterberg. Okay, and then we have Mary Parker Follett, and lastly we have Chester Bennett. Okay, so these are the prominent, okay, what some of the prominent researcher in uh, organizational behavior study. Okay, all right, all right. So these are the some of the most important researcher in in OB. Okay, and then okay, and then we look at Houghton study. So Houghton, okay, is one. Okay, is the name of, okay, is what is the name of researcher. Okay, so what Houghton does, okay, he study about, okay, he okay, sorry, okay. So Houghton is one of the studies being conducted, okay, to study the management style, okay, okay, in the world. Okay, all right. Okay, right. So the researcher, okay, the researcher who conducted the study is Elton Mayo. Okay, so Elton Mayo is the researcher, okay, and then the name of the study is Houghton study. Okay, so he conducted a study between 1920s and 1930s. Okay, right. He studied about the behavior of people and behavior of a group of people in organization. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Bagi tak mahu. Okay. So based on this study, he conclude that the people behavior, okay, and attitude are closely related. Okay. The people behavior and attitude are closely related. That group factors significantly affect individual behavior. Okay. So from the Houghton studies, okay, he find out that the behavior of the people can change according to the group that he belongs to. Okay? So that is the output from his study. Okay, so he find out that the personality of the person can change. Okay, based on the based on the based on the group that he involved. Okay, or based on the organization he works on. Okay, so there is an influence of organization on the behavior of people. Okay, so that is study by, okay, that is a Houghton study by Elton Mayo in 1920s and 1930s. Okay, right. And then we have the next evolution of the management study. Okay. Okay, after some time they come up with the new theory. They come up with the quantitative approach. Okay, use of quantitative technique to improve decision making. Okay, so the quantitative approach is more on how managers are making their decision. Okay, so before that, most of the manager they making their decision based on their experience, based on their knowledge, based on their instinct. Okay, so now they come up with what they call as a quantitative approach, where they come up with a set of procedures how to evaluate the option, how to evaluate the how to evaluate the problem, and then how to evaluate the solution. Okay, and then from there they can make a better decision making. Okay, so that is qualitative approach. Okay, and then, okay, after some time, okay, during the 1980s and 1990s, okay, the new knowledge, okay, comes up for the new theory comes up, okay, for the management. Okay, they come up with what we call as a total quality management, or TQM. Okay, so TQM is a philosophy of management that is driven by continuous improvement and responsiveness to customer need and expectation. Okay, so this one, okay, in 1980s and 1990s, okay, they come up with the new theory, okay, for management. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the TQM. What is quality management? Okay, so quality management, okay, they focus on customer, okay, and then concern on continuous improvement. Okay, is a process focus. Okay, all right, improvement in the quality of everything the organization does. Okay, so they emphasizing on the quality of organization. Okay, and then accurate measurement. Okay, and then empowerment of employee. Okay, so these are the characteristics of total quality management. Okay, and then after some time, okay, after 1990s, okay, then they start to come up with the contemporary approach. Okay, right. So most of the early approach focused on manager concern inside the organization. Starting in 1960s, management researcher began to look at what was happening at the external environment outside the boundaries of the organization. Okay, so if we look back at the previous knowledge, okay, or previous theory that being developed in the management principle of management, we can see that they only focusing on what is happening inside the organization. Okay, and then after some time, okay, around 1990s 2000, they start to the knowledge, okay, the researchers start to evaluate the impact of external environment to the to the to the to the organization. Okay, so in contemporary approach, they start to have, okay, they start to develop knowledge about a system. Okay, so system is a set of interrelated and interdependent parts arranged in a manner that produce a unified whole. Okay, so they come up with a term system. Okay, so system is a whole system. Okay, so is a interrelated set of parts. Okay, so it's a part of it's a part is a part that is interrelated with each other, so that when they work together, they are working as a whole unified unit. Okay, so that is a system. Okay, and then that is the system. Okay, and then they classify system as a two type of system. First is a closed system where the system is not influenced by their environment, and then second system is open system where the system is influenced by the environment. Okay, right. So these are the these are the graphical apps. Uh, these are the graphical this representation of what is open system. Okay, so once they study about system, okay, they find out that most of the okay, not most, okay, I can say that all of the organization, okay, in the world, they are open system organization, okay, because they are being influenced by their environment. Okay, so this figure represent how you as a okay, how the organization is interacted with the environment. Okay, alright. Taki, jangan tarik, jangan tarik, jangan tarik, jangan tarik. No. Hmm. Okay, so these are the graphical representation of how organization is interacted with the environment. Okay. Okay. And then after they evaluate, okay, after the researcher they start to realize that the environment give feedback to the organization, then they start to develop a new approach. They call it as contingency approach. Okay, so contingency approach is a management approach that recognize organization as a different, which mean they face different situation and require different ways of managing. Okay, from there they realize that you cannot you cannot lump all organization as one, okay, as a similar organization, because they are facing a different situation, they are facing with different environment, they are facing with different challenges. Okay, so in contingency approach, in contingency approach, we learn how to adapt to the changes. Sorry, we learn how to adapt to the difference, between the organization. Okay, all right. So in the contingency approach, there are some variables when you want to create your approach. Okay, so the first variable is your organization size. Okay, and then routineness of task technology. Okay, and then environmental uncertainty. Okay, and then the individual differences. Okay, so all these variables will influence how you will create your approach. Okay, so these are the variable that governs how you interact with how you want to design your approach, how you want to design your management approach. Okay, so that is the history of principle of management. Okay, so that is the history of this knowledge. Okay, this subject. Okay, all right, guys. I think that's all for today. Okay, thank you so much everyone for coming. Okay, so any question before we end the session?
No, sir.
Okay, if okay, all right.